Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 9. Continuing coverage of the upper bracket, we move to upper bracket quarterfinals C, I think. Although, no, this is D? I don't know, who cares? This is Rompafrolic versus MarchWaden here. Obviously, like, the order is A, B, C, D on, like, the bracket chart, right? But, like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter which one. Oh, only look at this. This is actually not going to be Galvazian versus Galvazian here, which is what I expected, or ConF rather. MarchWaden's main faction, of course, being ConF, and he knows the mirror matchup really, really well. I mean, certainly it's kind of a guaranteed win if he goes ConF against Rompafrolic, because I feel like in the mirror matchup he's just going to dominate. But it looks like he wants to play Coalition instead. Kind of similar to the series that I just casted myself against Arsavo. I felt like I had very good chances, so I played Coalition as well. So both of us kind of choosing to go off faction like that. Sandskimmer Fab started for Rompafrolic quite early. He's going to bring that PC forward. And as for MarchWaden, looks like this is going to be SC first. The thing I'm worried about is that Rompafrolic very typically has failed to get much damage done with these early attacks because he overbuilds on base runners in the beginning. And obviously it's not bad to like hold on to this one. That's a viable strategy. But he'll build like 2, and then he'll go for like tech, or rather he won't go for tech, he'll go for Sandskimmer upgrades rather than teching to like railguns or assault ships or whatever like that. He's not really got what he needs to get damage done on the field here. So I'm really worried that, like, because MarchWaden is a very good greed player, right? He knows how to defend very strong. So I'm really unsure that, you know, Rompafrolic is going to be able to get any damage on MarchWaden, let alone, you know, big damage on him here. MarchWaden, though, by the way, I would say, for such a good defensive player, is making quite a textbook mistake here, as he drives this base runner far out onto the side. If Rompafrolic wanted it, he could just bring the skims over and kill this, and I think that would have been the right move. As it stands, he's actually going to give him time to set down a turret here, but still he could kill this turret if he, like, approached it at the right angle, but it's definitely possible that this base runner will come back to haunt Rompafrolic here. He could have just pretty easily killed this thing, so... Probe going to be denied by the base runner from Rompa, it's kind of nice. Yes, he is going LAVs first. He's actually gotten power 1 as well. Maybe a little bit of an overreaction there, but... Carrier production upgrade will probably be coming out for him before too long, and I guess he's going to rely on getting power using the turret that he set up here. And again, like I said, Rompafrolic really did not need to let him get away with this, so he's probably gonna regret this later. Still no carrier production upgrade here for MarchWaden. Just continuing to build LAVs here. I suppose he's probably waiting until he can build up found a bunch of ways that usually all die to something but have a high chance of winning for a while. I guess that's actually a pretty interesting comment. I suppose you're actually probably right about that, yeah. By the way, Rompafrolic, though, definitely cleaning up his act here. He's got 2 PCs now, and he did not build a second base runner, which is what I wanted to see. And MarchWaden's doing something kind of funky with these LAVs, as he's kind of like driving out to the side here. If Rompafrolic can like isolate these, he'll be able to kill them, right? The only problem, of course, is he still doesn't have tech, so I mean, it's not like he's going to be able to put much pressure on. MarchWaden just kind of turtles on one base, and he should be okay here. Because Sandskimmer's not going to have like a huge push against, you know, like a turtle coalition player, like where he's got his carrier on his main base. Oh, careful, Rompa, this is 3v2. Still taking kind of bad trades here. But yeah, MarchWaden playing this in a very strange fashion. I feel like if I hype up a player's abilities, he's always going to let me down that way. I guess that's the caster's curse, but on myself. No, he goes for, I mean, he knows some, early, like, aggro builds for K, obviously, but mostly he's doing greed, and the thing that, was really surprising to me when I first started playing with MarchWaden and realized, like, wow, this guy's, like, a top-tier player, was that he would go for these greed builds, and I would rail rush him, and I'm like, oh yeah, certainly I own now, and he would win anyway. I couldn't get the damage done on him, so... By the way, Rompafrolic taking some really poor trades there, but totally guilty of nerfing another player. Yeah, you know, A-Game's just trying to artificially inflate his win rate by nerfing every strategy that other people use. We all know it. Uh-oh. turret shows up here, right? And this is actually, I think, the first that Rompafrolic is seeing about it. He's got a whole bunch of skims, though, so I mean, he can, like, deal with this at least, but it's gonna get a lot of kills on, it's gonna get a lot of kills on Rompafrolic's stuff here, and actually he's using the base sprinter heal of Rompafrolic against him. Uh-oh, now he's got high ground on the LEDs and the turret. He's gonna win this fight, absolutely. This PC is probably gonna die here. Oh, gosh. This is starting to look bad. And again, no tech from Rompafrolic here, so it's not like he's got assault chips that he can use here. Okay, he did actually kill the turret. Maybe I'm overreacting a bit. It looks like he's maybe bringing this fight back. Commercial break. Hey, I guess that makes me money, technically. Probably not. But look at this, MarchWaden gonna try to just set up another turret. Yeah, okay, that's the right move to try and turn this way. Well, it might really be my end. You know how my internet can be. Turret getting set up here though would not do anything, and MarchWaden knows that. He's not gonna try to set up turrets where they're just gonna die, so he's just gonna drive the base sprinter out and buy a little bit of time this way. And you know, I mean, he's not gonna get this extract up, but he got one artifact, and he definitely held off the early game rush from Rompafrolic. I mean, at this point, Rompafrolic cannot really continue that rush. Thing is, Rompa has been going for like skimmer upgrades, as he always does here. He has not gotten ref mode, so he can't go back to eco. Right? He spent his money on like sand skimmer rating and like armor 1. And in the meantime, MarchWaden is teching tack bombers, dude. Like, he's gotten air already. To be fair, this is maybe a little bit silly because if Rompafrolic can just see that air and identifies it, he's gonna be like, well, okay, he's got air. I'm gonna build anti-air, right, and be ready for the bombers. But, well, I mean, I guess that's just the thing, you know. Anti-air often dies to bombers, so this is yeah, attack bombers at the 23-27 mark. That's pretty crazy. The thing is, you know, this is not going to be good against, like, the sand skimmers at all, right? But, I mean, like, if he gets, like, a bomber hit on the PCs, he can just snipe them. This is probably a bad idea, to be honest with you, because, like, he could just build a gunship and just win anyway, you know, but, like, who knows? I mean, if he can get a really nice bomber hit here and just, like, kill both of the PCs, I'd be down for that. That would end the rush pretty much instantly. Second extraction does come out, by the way, for Rompafrolic, so he does manage to grab that. But again, like, what are you going to accomplish moving back out onto the field? He's got no tech here, so it's just skimmers. I mean, I don't understand what he's going to do. Like, eventually, MarchWaden's going to tech to something that's going to kill you, such as bombers, eh? So here comes the first bomber. It's a pretty good hit on that first PC. Second bomber is going to come and confirm the kill. Right. Oh, he does get it. Okay, that was actually, like, there was maybe a chance that he wasn't going to get that kill there. If you strafe perpendicular to the bomber, I think that Rompa would have lived there. He had the base sprinter heal going off as well, so... It's like dark blue and purple that he's got going, so not exactly your colors. Now, to be fair, this is the one problem with MarchWaden's build, is that he hasn't got defense against these skims, and he's building another bomber. He could have made a gunship. That would have been really, really smart here, but... he's at the SC, so I mean, like, he can actually probably take this trade still. And these bombers don't just go away, right? I mean, that's the big problem for Rompafrolic, is that they're gonna continue doing this. He wants to launch them all at once, not staggered like this, because if he wastes the bomb too early, this PC may be able to heal out of it. Sport Cruiser does actually go down, so Rompafrolic did manage to get something with all the skims that he's built here, but if this PC dies also, it's obviously not going to be worth it, right? However, this is not going to get two-shot, because you can see it managed to heal up quite a lot here. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is a little bit questionable bomber play here, because this thing's going to heal up to about 2,000 by the time that the bomber arrives. I think that this PC lives, actually. Again, though, you can strafe perpendicular to, like, reduce the damage income, but... or input. But, yeah, kind of questionable play by MarchWaden there, but, you know, I mean, he's already killed one PC. Sport Cruiser rebuilding is a lot easier to do. And indeed, he'll just make another one, build Salvagers onto that third base there, and he will pretty quickly, he will pretty quickly find himself at a massive money advantage here, I would have to say. Ref mode is actually done for Rompafrolic, which is interesting. I didn't see him teching that, but... He's building missile batteries, or ships, that is, right? Because he's got to. I mean, what other choices he got? But now here come a couple LAVs. To be fair, not many, though. So it's not like Not like Rompafrolic is gonna die to LEVs here or something like that, but, you know. He's got a second PC queuing up as well. And if MarchWaden would build a couple strike fighters too, I mean, these bombers facilitate them in a great way, because all these anti-air assets can be sniped, right? Not like he's teched assault ships here, he doesn't have access to the armor upgrades for these missile ships, so... And I don't know what it is with Rompa, but he really does not want to tech anything right now. He's just sticking on skimmers, and that's it. That's all he needs, he thinks. But, like, this is really bad. I mean, you know, ground-based anti-air is only going to do so much against bombers, right? Really, really hard to ever finish kills against them. So... Now, to his credit, he does have the fourth artifact in tow here, although he's not going to be able to extract this one. But he has managed to get 3 of them, you know, and Rompafrolic's game plan is all about the artifact win condition. He wants to just get carrier power and win off of that, so... That is good for him. He's doing more Rompafrolic moves here, just kind of killing himself for no reason. Okay, there we go. He always, like, when he's got his bases set up, he, like, shuffles his PCs around and loses a lot of money that way. Missile batteries are revealed. Missile ships, I should say. I always get this wrong. Bomber, just trying to find a window where it can come in. Whoa. It's funky. Trying to find a window where it can come in and avoid these missile ships, but everything seems to be pretty nicely covered, so he's just gonna actually bomb a scanner. Don't know about that, to be honest, but... you know, to each their own. That bomber has a pretty long recharge time, though. And MarchWaden looks like has tech rails. He's gonna go rails, carrier power, try and move out across the field. Only Rompafrolic does have radar guided missiles I just saw coming out, but also he does have this carrier with quite a bit of power in it, and he's got 3 artifacts, so you know, he does need to be respectful, does MarchWaden, a little bit of the ability of Rompafrolic to come in with a carrier power plate. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups again. His power is definitely obviously better than MarchWaden's. And MarchWaden's got no clue about this. He doesn't see this coming, so it's be interesting to see how he reacts to this. I wonder if any of these guys got hurt. Yeah, the bomber took 1 shot. It's not a huge deal. The thing is, Rompafrolic thinks he's covered with anti-air with these 2 missile ships, right? But, like, 3 bombers? Yeah, these are all, like, of course they're dead. And bombers actually have a really big damage output on carriers as well, so, you know, you've got to think, like, if it comes to, you know, just the raw numbers fight here, you know, do I win? Like, even though I have more carrier power, you know, there's a big damage source that I'm kind of ignoring, so... Carrier gonna be spotted just now for MarchWaden. He's gonna be like, what the heck? Didn't see this coming at all. Goal bomber. Yeah, I saw that too. I think that it was modified but not removed, right? But I'm not sure. Avian could tell you for sure. Pretty good damage, brings the carrier down to half instantly. Although I actually think the bombers were better used to try and snipe the anti-air assets, but you know, this'll work as well. Because the thing is, what he needs, really, I think, is to get to a situation where, like, his opponent can't, he wants to get to a situation where his opponent can't, deal with the bombers. He doesn't have any anti-air. So in that case, you want to just go for the missile ships and take them out, especially when they're, like, isolated like that. This is nice, though. He'll get these ones. Actually, the barrage landed. I didn't catch it on camera here, but it did manage to take a lot of health away from those LAVs, but... If it can't finish the kills, it's not worth too much, right? Although, Sandstorms are coming in to try and keep this alive. Ooh. It's gonna be close. He does get it. Okay, that's actually kind of a big deal. So now he should launch the bombers, find the missile ships, and kill them, right? With the bombers. And then he can just bomb the Gaussian carrier at his discretion. He never has to worry about it again. I mean, that's kind of how I think about this anyway, but I don't know. I hope he doesn't use the bombers on these skims here. I mean, the thing is... bombers are not good with skims, first off. That's one thing to say. He does manage to get 3 kills, but it's not a huge amount. I mean, he's got to realize there is actually a world where Rompafrolic steals this game with just, like, a carrier power play, right? It shouldn't happen, right? I mean, obviously, you know, MarchWaden should survive this, but... if he's gonna use the bombers really frivolously and not, you know, actually get relevant damage on that carrier and snipe out the missile ships, you know, maybe he doesn't realize just like how easy it would be for him to kill these things, because I'm sure he would be all about that if he knew. No Mag Excel, by the way, only power 1 here and 1 artifact. So, I mean, like, yeah, he does lose this fight if it gets taken right now. The thing is, the bombers can just kill these missile ships. I mean, he doesn't have to play with this at all. This is really quite odd. Missile ship's gonna dump a barrage on the support cruiser. That's really dumb, because obviously he wants that damage on the carrier right now. But, you know, to each their own. No, that's just objectively the wrong move, I would say. But he does have a bomber in the sky now, 2 bombers in the sky, actually. If he could just go for these missile ships and kill them off here, I mean, you know, he's got free damage on that carrier forever. Calcium carrier, quite powered up here, of course. I think actually prioritizing the support cruisers first is the correct move here. Although using base spreader heal to heal your opponent's support cruiser is not the correct move. I'll say that much. Okay, there we go. MarchWaden does bomb out the missile batteries there. Now he can just do whatever he wants, right? I don't know why he hadn't just done that before. But the bombers can just, I mean, they really can with impunity just strike at any target they want, really. There's nothing here that's gonna actually damage these bombers. And railguns have arrived as well, so Rompafrolic has done some damage here, but now he just kind of has to leave. I really feel. He can obviously run away. I mean, Coalition carrier is only 50 speed, but that doesn't really get him so far. The bombers will eventually chase him down. Bomber just gonna drop a missile on the production cruiser for some reason, even though he can't capitalize on this damage. That was definitely a mistake. I don't know, man. MarchWaden's a very good player, but this game seems to be kind of riddled with kind of comic errors. Maybe he's just not taking it very seriously, but I don't know. Still no Mag XL either, right? And that'd be a nice tech here, just to finish off that carrier a little bit faster. That's quite a number. That's what we call a floating point error, right? Hey! Oh wow, look at that base runner actually. I mean, obviously the bombers can deny it, but that would have brought the scoreline to 4-1. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty typical Rompafrolic, you know, if you're in danger, just build more base runners, right? Only it usually doesn't work for him, but, you know. PC is gonna get killed now by MarchWaden. MarchWaden! And he does have these rails up on high ground. Again, still no Mag XL, but, you know, they will kill this carrier eventually. It's so long that Rompafrolic can run here. I was disconnected from... Oh, what the... Stream dead. Well, that's nice. Oh, are we back? Seeing as our kilobits per second upload is exactly 0, we are not back. But well, I'll just continue the cast. I am recording this. Shouldn't be any surprise to anyone that Rompafrolic did in fact lose there. Maybe I can like jiggle the stream here though. Ah, we're back. Okay. Yeah, MarchWaden won, as you would expect. Sorry, my internet just chose to commit suicide there. Sewer slide. Slid into a sewer. But that's okay, we are back and continuing the cast. And map 2 is going to be on Firebase Krill. This one was MarchWaden's pick. Rompafrolic, of course, picking KT Alt. And as I always say, that is a good move for Rompafrolic. I mean, he goes for these early aggro things, and KT Alt is good for it. But MarchWaden on Firebase Krill, and then Call of Teeth for the next game. Of course, this is Gaussian, not Con F. I feel like MarchWaden has a very, very big advantage on both of these maps. Cyberpunk? What? 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 Oh, it's something from that game. Maybe I should get Cyberpunk, but I don't know. I've never really been into open world games. And also, I mean, maybe this is just me being... Maybe this is just me being silly, but like, when a game is really hyped that much by people and they're that excited for it, I always just kind of imagine it's gonna flop, you know? And it turns out Cyberpunk, from what I've heard, has been very, very good, but... I don't know, I never want to buy into games that are like hyped up that much. Oh yeah, no, I mean, people have given it very good reviews, so I'm sure that it did turn out good, but it's not my kind of game, you know? So... Bozo is under a rock. No, I didn't say that it was bad. I said that, like, I always imagine it's gonna be bad when it's hyped up that much, right? Fundamental difference. By the way, this time Rompafrolic going for tech pretty early, and I'm always a fan of this. He's got a soul chip fab on the queue here. PC maybe wants to snipe the probe if he can see it, but it looks like he's not gonna get away with that. No, you're breathtaking. Man, Keanu Reeves is just awesome. Can I just say that? I mean, like I said, I haven't played this game at all, but like, I like Keanu Reeves quite a lot. He's a fun guy. Yeah, see, maybe this is weird and old-fashioned to me, but I actually just want like a single-player, like story-driven game, like Half-Life, you know, or like Half-Life. That's really the best one that comes to mind to me. Whoa, look at the camera. Like, we're shaking and buzzing. Oh, well, maybe I should check it out then, eh? The other thing, though, is that, like, I really am generally disappointed by, like, shooting mechanics in games now that I've started playing, like, multiplayer. Because, like, for example, what's a good example of this? Well, Half-Life's a good example, right? Like I said, it's a really good game, you know? But I go back and I play, like, Half-Life 2 these days, and I'm like, wow, this is tremendously boring, you know? I just kind of, like, point at the guy and hold down mouse 1, and he dies eventually, you know? Because it's like a Quake Legacy game, right? And I'm realizing, I guess, the more time goes on, I wouldn't have really liked Quake if I played it back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Like, I don't really enjoy the whole, you know, moving around and aiming at people. I more enjoy, like, controlling the spray of a gun, like in Counter-Strike or whatever, so... Oh well, enough talk about this stuff that has nothing to do with the series at hand. We do have Assault Chips, like I said, on the way for Rompafrolic, but he's hitting pretty late here. This is already 2640, and MarchWaden just doesn't freaking care. He's like, well, you know, yeah, you might have Assault Chips, but I'll just go to 3 base. I don't know what he's doing here, but we'll see. Maybe he's got some kind of mad plan. But I mean, even if he sets down a turret now, it's a bit too late. The turret would be killed, so. Doesn't really have that option. Have we got armor on the assault chips? Yeah, we do. So this is good from Rompafrolic then, but he needs to probably just build more of them and really try to pressure this, because especially, like, he doesn't know that his opponent is on 3 base, but if he figures that out, you know, you wanna stomp that as hard as you can, because this is a greed scenario where you can try and like, you know, punish your opponent for being this sloppy with his build order. To that end, he's sending a guy over here onto the main base. Yeah, he should. Okay, he kind of jiggled around a little bit there, but because right now he's getting shot by the carrier and the SC. He's taking a lot of damage actually. Man, MarchWaden, I don't know what he was thinking here, and he's just teching carrier power. He doesn't even need like units to defend against this. You know, that's overrated. There we go. He does go up to AV fab. Salvager's gonna start going down on the main, and this is very, very nice by Rompafrolic. See this? He's found the pocket where the support cruiser can't shoot at this assault chip, so you can actually do this damage for free. Yeah, it looks like MarchWaden's figured it out though, so he's gonna come over here and try to execute that assault chip, but he could flip over the dune. A little bit too late there, and more volley will take it out. But assault chip's still hammering in all over the place here. Once you get these guys over the dune, I think they're just too injured here. If you can just keep them alive for a little bit, it'd be pretty big for him, actually. But that's okay, though. He rips off all the salvagers from the 3rd base there. Now, does he have ref mode on the way? No. But he's got the money for it now. I don't know about this. I mean, armor 2 is actually not bad, though. I will say that. But it feels to me that, like, he's done a bunch of damage to the eco from MarchWaden now, but eventually MarchWaden will build some kind of tech to deal with this. I think he wants to go back and try and get his economy set up in the meantime. Just get, you know, get ref mode started and then back up with the PC. But armor 2 is good, that's definitely true, and obviously these AVs have no armor of their own, so perhaps he can kill them, like, right as they jump out the gate here. But the carrier doing a lot of damage, so... Uh-oh. Oh gosh, how did this happen? The AVs actually have found the PC here. So this assault ship really needs to go ham then. Get this high ground here, this is good. Yeah, no, that PC is gonna be okay. He's not gonna get killed like this, I don't think. But a lot of fire focused on the support cruiser here. It's a very all or nothing thing. You know what A-Game's gonna say about this, right? But I mean, look, this is exactly why he says that. He didn't get the support cruiser. And now this seems like a big waste here. Doesn't manage to really get any damage with that last play on the assault ships there. And now that the AVs are out, it's like MarchWaden can definitely stabilize here, so... I feel like he's just overstayed a bit. This is some nice micro. He's gonna almost kill off that AV just for free there. That's pretty crazy. But look at this, MarchWaden's just gone back up onto 3 base now, and Rompafrolic has started ref mode, so he'll have that going for him in a moment, but MarchWaden is on uncontested 3 base at the moment. And, like, he took so many salvager losses there, but, like, Rompafrolic did not follow up with eco, so it just doesn't even matter. MarchWaden's still with a massive advantage in this game, I would say. He should really get the armor upgrades at this point if he's got this many AVs, I would say, but, wow, look at the RU count on his side, that's insane. That's because of how many salvagers he had to rebuild, right? I've got to imagine. Okay, armor 1 is on the way now. And armor 2, honestly, would be probably the way to go as well. But no, instead he's going to go into Assault Cruiser fab. That's obviously pretty good tech as well. Yeah, right? I mean, he had like over 1k at some point, I think. You know, actually, in that case, Assault Cruisers are a pretty sharp option here, because clearly, you know, he needs to spend this RU bank. Buoyant gamer. But the thing is, another thing that spends the RU bank a lot is these armor upgrades. So, and because he's got so many AAVs, I just feel like it'd be really money, big value for that. But you know, we'll see what he ends up doing here. March of the Penguins as the AVs approach the main base of Rompafrolic. He has just set up ref mode, but he has to back off of that base because of the threat of the AVs. Although he's maybe moving a little bit early here, but... Armor 3 coming out for Rompafrolic then, because he knows he needs to fight this off. That's definitely the right move. And this is why I was saying, you know, Armor 2 would be good on MarchWaden here, but... Right now, he's kind of isolated it into a 3v1. Kind of 3v2, but this guy's backing off here, so... Really nice damage for MarchWaden there. Just picks off a free assault ship. Now it's a 2v5 here, though he does have the carrier, does Rompafrolic, so obviously you can do something with that. It's good to bring the PC here to hold the base, and then you can pop the carrier out and try to use that to zone a little bit. Don't go too far, though, because then it'll just go around you. But in the meantime, though, MarchWaden looks like wants to extract artifacts here. He is building ACs now. He's got the money to queue up a second one, although he needs the fleet capacity. There we go. Still got money for that armor upgrade. I would go for it. But oh, he did. Hey, look at that. And then Assault Cruiser anti-air teching as well, which is probably an interest, like a good move, I would say. I mean, we don't, like, we know that there's no air tech yet, but there might be coming, and maybe he didn't have time to check it or whatever. Again, though, like I said, this carrier can zone, right? But you don't want to go too far, because once you do, he comes around you, right? And this is exactly what I was talking about. So this carrier wants to stay pretty close, to zone them off so they can't get too close to you, and then don't go too far, because if you do, then the AVs come around you like this. AVs here have actually managed to get up on the main base for Rompafrolic once again. This assault ship here getting carrier blocked, he's not actually shooting, but pretty good depth packs there are going to probably send the bleeding a little bit. And in fact, MarchWaden, it looks like he's actually prioritizing shooting at the assault ship, which is a bit of a mistake, so... Gonna actually be able to mitigate the damage there is Rompa. But still, this is 3 base against 1. I mean, you know, the longer this goes on, the worse it gets. Maybe it's illustrated by chat just like talking about Cyberpunk the whole time, because they already know like who wins this map, right? I think that's pretty funny. He can even set down a turret here if he likes. Heavy Vehicle 3 coming out now. I didn't mean to throw shade, by the way. I'm not like mad about people using stream chat to talk about something. So don't worry about that. Oh shoot. This is high ground for MarchWaden, but it's a pretty money engage for the assault ships there because of all of the AoE. But here comes the Big Daddy assault cruiser, and oh boy, if it dropped a attack missile barrage and landed on all these, that'd be pretty funny. But no, it looks like it's gonna be all right for now. Oh, beautiful thing. Nice. Tic-tac-toe. I love that. I'm gonna say that from now on. And Rompafrolic, in typical Rompafrolic fashion, builds another base runner because he thinks he's going to be able to extract an artifact in this current game state, somehow. I believe Tech Missile Barrage was used on this carrier. Too low for it to have gotten there any other way. Well, that was a long time ago, right? Way back in the day. Like before 1.3, I think. Only until May? Oh wow. So that was like before 1.3 they changed that. There's that third artifact coming out for MarchWaden, but it's all pretty academic. He will kill that carrier off. And this guy only gets 2,000 XP for it. What a sham. Doesn't even get to have a name. But, you know, MarchWaden taking game 2, after a bit of a hectic fight over here, but he really lucked out because Rompafrolic did not handle the engage properly. And after that, it just seemed a little bit too casual, you know, he just sort of, like, easily won. But really, that was extremely greedy. Like, I can't believe he went for that. He should have been punished for it, but Rompafrolic not able to find the damage that he needed. And if you look at the float, the buoyancy over here, I think it's clear he wasn't really taking this too seriously at that point. I mean, he knew he had it in the bag, you know, no reason to try hard here, so. No, you're right. But the thing is, this time he had probed and scouted. He saw, so he knew that the assault ships were coming. He just was like, well, I'll just go 3 base. I mean, insanity, right? Like, you can't do that. But that's what I was saying about MarchWaden when I mentioned at the start of the series that like he's a good greed player because he knows how to defend. He can get away with this kind of stuff, right? He doesn't just die to attacks when he goes for greed. It's really a struggle to take him down. I'm in stunned silence. I don't know. Stupor of thought. Oh well, Rompafrolic with Sandstormer Fab coming out here. He does retire the base runner, I believe. Drops that scanner in that location that we've seen before. Looks like on this map, because, I mean, we've seen this exact thing before. It looks like on this map he respects the possibility of AAV rush, so he's trying to go for... I mean, probably this is assault ships again. But, you know, in a manner that he's not going to die if it's like an AAV rush. If he goes ref mode, I'll tell you one thing. I will pull my hair out. But... I don't think he will do that. It's been a while since we've seen people go for that kind of trash build. And sure enough, Assault Ship Fab is on the queue here, which is great. Because I didn't actually want to pull my hair out. I think that one's just you. It tells me it's at 6,000 kilobits per second. Although, why measure it in kilobits instead of kilobytes? I don't quite understand. Anyway, Assault Ship Fab coming out for Rompafrolic then, as I said. But he probably will go to eco after this. The thing is, getting assault ships first like this, he does need to come out and try and get some pressure with them, right? If he just leaves the PC at home, this is pretty weak, because rather than going for eco like MarchWaden did, you just go for like the unit, but then don't build it. Just go for eco, right? That's not how you want to do it. That's obviously a losing strategy. So he's gonna want to bring this guy out here. Fleet Cap 45 coming in at a very, very early time here. That tells me probably he's trying to go for ref mode after that. But he wants to build assault ships in the meantime. That's why he would go for like Fleet Cap before he like needs it, because when he starts teching ref mode, obviously you can't increase your fleet capacity in that time. Not at all. He's gone queued up 2 assault ships, and then he has the armor upgrade coming out. That's kind of curious. I don't know what the idea there is. Maybe he's thinking, well, I've got money right now, I might as well. But it's kind of odd to see, because if you run into something that's really easily exploitable from your opponent, you kind of actually want to not have Fleet Cap 45 started, right? Discover, of course, who's on the stream chat, he did a whole bunch of labbing about this to try and figure out, you know, like what the optimal assault ship first play is, and basically the idea is like if you can avoid getting Fleet Cap 45 up and still delay your opponent onto 2 base, then you're going to be massively ahead in the late game, so, or the mid game, I should say. Assault ships here getting molested by this turret. 18 plus once again. In fact, I don't even know if they get the kill here. Ooh. Okay, they do get the kill there. That's pretty nice. And in that case, he probably will stop this extract as well. Base runners died pretty quick in the current Jaraci patch. Just wants to make sure he keeps following this guy, get a bit of high ground, but it's a little too late for that now. So a bit of lazy micro there, but he is going to pop into the main base now with some assault ships. And MarchWaden going to react by bringing his carrier back in. AV Fab is on the way, and he does get that extract out, so that's pretty good for MarchWaden. Gonna put power into the weapons here then. He does have power 1 on the way, so he's gonna probably put that one in range. There we go. Oh. Well, he'll do it eventually, I'm sure. One logistics module doesn't get killed. A lot of mining time delayed here for Rompafrolic, so he's definitely getting value, like I said he needed to. Now the thing he does probably is to go for F mode from here. But again, look, he's got 3 assault ships, and no like long distance miners. 4 now, but he could actually fit this on Fleet Cap 25, right? And that's like the reason why I'm saying don't, you know, overbuild on fleet capacity, but uh-oh, he's queuing up more assault ships. You really got to get ref mode started, man, because if you wait, you know, you just did eco damage, good job, and now you're throwing it away by not building economy off the back of it. Your rush is going to stall out eventually. That just has to happen, right? I mean, nobody expects assault ship first to like kill a carrier, you know, so if you play it this way, you're just always going to fall behind eventually. This is a little bit trash, I would say. Heavy's 1 finishes for MarchWaden, so he does want to have that upgrade to be able to fight back against these assault ships here. Obviously, if Rompafrolic doesn't go eco, he will come back in. It's not a bad idea for MarchWaden to prepare for that eventuality, because if Rompafrolic does go back to eco, and by the way, LAV is trying to do something over here, but they should really just hold off long-distance miners. This has been a mistake. If he does go back to eco, then all you've got to do is like use the army that you built to defend as a counterattack, right? And indeed, assault ship first builds usually follow like a counterattack stage when the coalition player comes in and tries to fight. So this is what MarchWaden wants to do. Heavy vehicles armor 2 is going to finish now. Big old wing of assault ships. There's like 5 here. Gosh. Well, he pulls him off the line though, which means he's probably going to keep him safe here. He is building more as well, so obviously this guy is not going to feel great, but he can like be a smoke machine if he needs it. AVs are coming back to try and help defend. This logistics module possibly going to be forfeit here, but oh, MarchWaden's actually moving out. I think you just come in because you can kill all these assault ships. This is not, you don't have to lose salvagers here. Yeah, he's gonna lose a salvager there. I really feel like he did not need to lose. Maybe even 2, 3. I mean, this could be quite a lot of kills here. Oh dear. He's got power for the range too, and he's not. Oh man, he's already killed 3 and he's still alive. Oh, MarchWaden, you got an AV right here. Just go and clean this thing out. Is he gonna get a 4? Oh, that was close. 33 HP left on that last guy. Yeah, MarchWaden playing this really sloppy, but again, like, Rompafrolic is playing it so sloppy that it just doesn't even matter. I mean, Rompa is just, he's got nothing, right? Despite just going in and getting a whole bunch of kills on salvagers, there's no follow-up. Ref mode isn't even started, and there's just no units, right? So, I don't know what to tell you. This is just strange play. I like the depth pack though. That was a pretty good one. Damaged pretty much all of them there. But, like, all these salvagers are going to be lost here now. Well, I mean, maybe he won't lose that many, but MarchWaden should smoke the missile launcher there so he can keep these guys alive for a little bit longer, but a little bit too late at this point. Oh, this guy didn't even have smoke, it was the other one. Only 2 salvagers left for Rompafrolic, and I just feel like he just doesn't have a concept of how to play these, like, assault ship first builds. I think this was actually the series afterwards that he came onto the Discord and was saying that assault ships are bad, which is pretty funny. But, you know, no, I would say so. I mean, yeah, you got a bit of damage on his side. Maybe he's overestimating, like, how much damage he did there, but this is Omega over, I would say. But, you know, it is match point, so, like, maybe he's just holding on because why not, you know. I often do things like that. I can get behind it. You think so? I mean, they are getting buffed in the next patch, but not by a whole lot. Like, in my opinion, assault ships are maybe, like, if they are weak, it's gonna be minor, right? I still feel like assault ships are okay. Versus AVs, they can even fight well. I mean, we've seen that obviously this tournament already. But that's true, they don't have much tankiness, that's for sure. But, like, the concept that assault ship first builds have no merit is totally... Like, he's basing that off of the results of this series, but, like, he just has not used them right. It's pretty clear to see that, you know what I mean? Situations where he's gotten big value and then just kind of thrown it away by not following up at all. This is good micro, though. Oh, keep this guy alive for a bit longer? Not quite, but... Let's see, he's isolating this into a 2v1. I actually really like the micro all of a sudden from Rompafrolic. Now that I start talking about how he's not really using them right, he actually starts using them correctly, but it's still armor 1 versus armor 3, so he's not able to win this trade entirely, but really try-hard micro there, I quite like that. Power 2 coming out, because he knows he's about to get killed by AVs. Oh, MarchWaden just doesn't even care anymore, look at this, he's like, just surrender, man. He's building an AC, but he hasn't even started production upgrade. That's quite telling, you know. He just doesn't even care. Because he knows, I mean, he knows that this is just totally over, right? And there's no reason to worry about losing this. He's playing it really lazy. He didn't even get any extract this time. What do you want to bet? The next thing Rompafrolic builds is a base runner. What do you want to bet? It's not quick dropping, that's for sure. He's got the money for it. Oh, he did queue up an assault ship, darn. You would have won that one. You would have won that one. Feels to me that often when Rompafrolic sees he needs more carrier power, he'll build base runners instead of just teching it. You know what I mean? Even in situations where, like, he can't possibly get an extract out. Like, it's like such a fantasy to even think that it would be remotely possible. But he'll just be like, yeah, base runners. That'd be a good idea. By the way, a bit more eco-suicide here as he makes all these guys long-distance miners once again. Sorry if I'm being a little too critical of his gameplay here, but it's just like, you know, mistakes made over and over again, you know, eventually you've got to learn, right? But MarchWaden just doesn't freaking care. He did get one of the production upgrades there, but he's just like, he's just playing this so lazy because he knows he's won, you know what I mean? So you're right though, it is good to see Rompa playing, because obviously, you know, I don't want to like push people out of the community, so with my woxicity. I can be quite a mofo sometimes, can't I? If you're gonna talk smack about balance, you know, I want to see you at least improving. You know, you're right. You're right. I'm being a little bit too. I'm being a little bit too harsh here. I shouldn't be so hyperbolic. But it's me, you know. So I mean, I have to be hyperbolic. That's my whole thing. Yeah. Well, to be fair though, even Last Rites has gotten you once before. Mistakes happen, huh? This is probably the carrier kill right here, by the way. Yeah, one more volley. So MarchWaden does manage to take the series. 3-0 for him. It felt quite comfortable. I mean, there were a couple moments where he overgreeded and would get punished by things, but I don't know. I mean, it just never felt like it mattered because Rompafrolic didn't have the follow-up there, so... yeah, so he is able to take the series 3-0 then, and he will advance to the semifinals. Rompafrolic, of course, I'm being a little bit rude to him, but like he is obviously improving. I do know that. So, and yeah, again, you're totally right. I mean, everyone who plays poorly when they start RTS, they always turtle like that. And you are right. Like Rompafrolic has clearly improved quite a lot from those days. So that's what I loved about Red Alert. You can build Tesla coils and just never die. I feel like it's a stage that everybody goes through. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll move on to the next one.